You don't think he's underneath it, do you?
What do you mean, underneath?
You know, buried right at the top of his head.
Of course not, stupid.
Well, he might be. He does get up to some funny things.
We'll pick it up and see.
I don't like to. You pick it up. He's turned into a rabbit.
Don't be silly. He's gone off somewhere.
Yes, but where and why did he leave his hat behind?
Dunno. Don't care either.
There's a dozen new laid eggs in there, Mr. Croman, so don't you go breaking them now.
I won't, and I'm most deeply obliged to you, Mrs. Braithwaite.
Oh, not half as much as I'm obliged to you. If you hadn't given me this bottle of jalap for my ends, I reckon we'd have lost at least half of them. Even the vet was flummoxed. He was wondering what this was.
It's an old countryman's remedy, Mrs. Braithwaite. A sworn secret that was handed on to me by a mountain shepherd, who'd had it handed on to him by an Irish tinker of leprechaun descent.
Well, now, fancy that. Oh, and there's a fresh cut lettuce in there and a pound of my best dairy butter.
My courteous thanks to you again, ma'am.
Mind how you go with those eggs now.
I will.
An Irish tinker of leprechaun descent.
I'll sell you, my girl, one of these days and buy me a new model. You dang well see if I don't.
You acquire a new form of transport, eh, Mr. Braithwaite?
No? Oh, like yours, you mean? Yes, well, they might just catch on, what with the price of petrol. Only I don't reckon I got the leg muscle for one of them contraptions.
Might I suggest you try 3 drops of that in your carburettor?
Well, what the hummers is it?
It's an old mechanical lubrication, Mr. Braithwaite. A sworn secret formula that was handed on to me by a Cornish knife grinder, who'd had it passed on to him by the grandfather of the man who invented the spinning jenny.
Well, then.
I'll take the bottle back next time I see you. I've got to go now. I'm buying some biscuits for Ratter.
Grandfather of the man what invented the spinning jenny. Well, I'll be blowed. Harry?
Yes, Mr. Braithwaite?
Have you seen my cap?
Your cap?
My best tweedy cap. I put it there.
No, I haven't, Mr. Braithwaite.
You haven't been playing silly beggars with it, have you?
Of course I haven't. Can I borrow mine?
No, thank you. Betty, you about?
In here, Jack.
You haven't said eyes, I don't suppose, on my cap.
Your tweed cap.
Yes.
Your best tweed cap.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure I saw you crossing the yard 5 minutes ago with it on your head.
Oh, well, it's not there now, is it? Pop upstairs for me, would you, and see if it's on the bed.
What are you doing with that?
What?
That bottle you're holding, that potion for colicky hens.
Colicky hens?
Well, that's what it is, isn't it?
Well, does it look like a potion for colicky hens?
It doesn't matter what it looks like. I'm saying what it is. It's a potion for colicky hens, handed down by an Irish tinker of leprechaun descent.
Oh, don't talk daft, woman. It's a carburetor lubricant, is this? Handed on by the grandfather of the man what invented the spinning jenny.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. Besides, whatever it is, it ain't my tweedy cap, is it? Now, are you going to look for it, or aren't you?
I'm on my way.
Yeah, don't take all day. I'm going to warm the car up.
I've been ready for 10 minutes. It's you that's making me run all over the house looking for your tweedy cap.
John! Sue! Are you on your own today?
Yeah, Dad's gone to Rosenfeld to see about a job.
Well, Mrs. B and me are going into town. Would you like a run in with us?
Yes, please.
Go and tidy up, then. You haven't got all day.
Here you are.
Well, this isn't my best tweedy cap. This is my old corduroy cap.
Well, it's all I can find. It's the best I can do. You'll have to wear that. You haven't taken my scarf, have you?
Why should I take your scarf?
Well, someone has.
You'd lose your head if it wasn't screwed on. Harry, have you lost something?
Yes, I have. My goggles. Don't suppose you got any idea where they've got to, have you?
Sorry. Same place as the cap and scarf, I expect.
You know what? I've got a feeling it's going to be one of those days.
What the hell's that? Dunno. What's the matter with them?
I don't know, Jack. I expect it's this old car. I've been telling you long enough to buy a new one.
Hey, get that car out of the way! Blocking the road! You shan't be here more than 2 hours or more. What was that?
What was what?
Oh, I don't know. I'm asking you. Thought I saw something, though. Now then, what about you two? Are you going to tag along with Mrs. B and me, or are you going off exploring on your own?
Go off on our own, please.
Right, well, we'll all meet at 1 o'clock under the market clock, and then we'll have a bite to eat. Right, off you go, then.
Enjoy yourselves, children, and keep out of mischief.
Give me a hand with this, will you?
What be all they about in there, then, mister?
All about jobs, aren't they? Some from people that want jobs and some from firms that want to give them work.
All right. They haven't got one in there, don't suppose, from an hard-working, respectable woman what's looking for a full-time job as a wife?
It's an employment agency, not a marriage bureau. Can't you read?
Yeah, of course I can read. When they got me reading there, Don.
Crikey!
What's up?
What's he doing in town?
What's it come for? That's more important.
Corn. I say, they're burning it. A snorting and finding your parts. Yeah, corn in a bloody green.
Hello, Worzel.
Hello.
What's you doing in town?
Hey, isn't that Mr. Braithwaite's best cap?
And Harry's goggles?
And Mrs. Braithwaite's scarf?
My vest and breeches. That's really something, is that there article? Really something.
What's that?
Well, that there woolly, of course. You ain't gone blind, have you? Here, don't just start with woolly like that. Make the straw in your inner start twitching.
Fair old pullover.
I knew it. A fair old pullover. I knew it was. As soon as I saw it, I said to myself, where's it? I said, that's a fair old pullover, I said. Yeah, you wait till Aunt Sally sees me in one of their fair old pullovers. She'll marry me quick as winking.
Worzel, I think Aunt Sally's going out with another scarecrow.
Yeah, I know that, young missy. You don't have to tell me that. She's walking out with that there Sergeant Beetroot, walking out in Olden Hands and canoodling down Foggy Bottoms. Nor because he's got a fair old pullover and I ain't. But you just wait till I get one of their fair old pullovers. Yeah, that there coloured one. When I wears that, there won't be a crow seen around me for 1,000 miles. Hey. Yeah, what's this here sign say about that there pulley then?
This week's giveaway bargain.
Do it really? Hey, I reckon I'll have one of them fair old pulleys then.
Have you got any money, Worzel?
What do you need money for? You heard what he said. They're giving these fair old pulleys away.
Give away bargains. That doesn't mean they're giving them away free.
I know what giveaway means, Missy. Thank you very much indeed. When he says it in Worzelese or Romanian, giveaway means giveaway. That's what it means. And if you're trying to tell me they're giving these fair old pullovers away to humans and holding them back from scarecrows, then I'm going to go in this here shop and kick the capossel out of them. Yeah.
But Worzel!
Well, I'll be bums whistled. Howdy do? I said, howdy do? Nah, be you pretty, no mistake, missy. I said, you pretty. All right, then stick your nose in the air, see if I care. But you just wait till I got my fair old pullover on. You won't be so stuck up and toffee nosed then that I might even ask you to marry me.
Gracious, Jack!
Yes, my dear.
Look over there.
Where? What am I supposed to be looking at? I can't see anything.
Well, neither can I now.
What was it?
Well, I know you'll laugh, but I saw you a scarecrow from 10 Acre looking in that shop window.
Was it? And what would my scarecrow be doing in Little Minster on a Wednesday afternoon?
Well, I don't know.
Out we come. That's it. There's it. There's it.
Your sore neck's still giving you trouble, Mr. Mooney.
Never mind my neck, Miss Simmons. There's a dirty, disgusting tramp drooling over your Fair Isle pullovers.
Oh, do you think I've made a sale?
Oh, of course not. No, the rascal's obviously penniless. Drunk, too. I shouldn't be surprised. Oh, ignore the filthy fellow and he'll go away.
Oh, very good, Mr. Mooney.
And while you are ignoring him, Miss Simmons, perhaps you could do something about your gentleman's cardigans. Well, look at them. They're in a terrible state. You've got the 38s to 40s mixed up with the 41s and the 42s.
Oh, I'm very sorry, Mr. Mooney.
Ignore him, Miss Simmons. Whatever he does, pay no attention at all.
Missy. Missy! I'll have one of them fair old pullovers here, what you're giving away. Yeah, and while you're at it, can you wrap it up in a bit of paper and put some fair old string round it so I can carry it?
Oh, dear, oh, dear.
Don't be some as deaf as a dead crow. Well, if you won't serve me, I'll serve myself. There. Right? Here, no, how do you put? Get in there. How do you get in there? What's in there? And then fair old pullover, it's a rotten old pullover if you ask me.
He must be somewhere.
Get on with it.
Over there. What are we going to do?
What can we do?
We've got to help him or we'll get into a terrible tangle.
If you ask me, he's in a terrible tangle already.
Say, what's... That's not the way, is it? What do you do? Come in there, yourself.
He's gone into a sulk.
Much better, Miss Simmons. 101% improvement in your cardigans.
Thank you, Mr. Mooney. Mr. Mooney?
Yes, Miss Simmons.
Well, that old tramp, he won't go away.
Ignore him, Miss Simmons, as I am doing. Just pretend he isn't there. Look in the opposite direction.
But he's behaving very oddly, Mr. Mooney.
Oddly? In what way?
He's got one of my Fair Isle pullovers on his head.
Oh, no. That is really going too far, Miss Simmons. Well, I mean, I'm all for turning a blind eye, but there is a limit. I'm afraid I must ask you to return that pullover to the counter at once. Do you hear me, my man? Hand over that garment before I summon the store detective and have you charged with theft.
You don't suppose there's anything wrong with him, do you, Mr. Mooney?
Drunk on methylated spirits, I shouldn't wonder. They're like that, tramps. However, there will be something wrong with him before I'm finished. I'll teach the rascal to try and play hide and seek in one of our garments.
What are you going to do, Mr. Mooney?
We, Miss Simmons, Simmons are going to take repossession of that pullover.
Well, are we really?
No, Miss Simmons. You are. Well, get on with it, girl. I'm standing by in full control.
Yes, I can see that, Mr. Mooney.
Oh, go on. What's the matter?
Look at that. He hasn't got fingers, Mr. Mooney. He's only got twigs.
Enid,
Yes?
have I been drinking?
No, Mr. Mooney. Have I?
Huh?
It's not a tramp at all, Mr. Mooney. It's a thing.
Don't contradict me, Miss Simmons. I've been in the retail trade long enough. I hope to be able to tell a tramp from an ordinary customer.
He's not a customer either, Mr. Mooney. Not unless we've been serving scarecrows. That's what this is. No doubt about it.
A scarecrow? Good heavens above. A scarecrow in the menswear department of Upjohn and Stanley. Well, how on earth did it get here? Oh, and what would Mr. Upjohn say if you were to walk through the store now and see it? Well, to say nothing of Mr. Stanley.
And what would Mr. Upjohn say if you were to see what, Mr. Mooney?
Good afternoon, Mr. Stanley. I was just remarking to Miss Simmons whether you'd had the opportunity to view our remarkable menswear woolen fashions.
Not yet, Mr. Mooney. What is that behind your back?
Nothing behind my back. Would you care to step outside now, sir, and see our display of menswear woolen fashions?
I have that on my schedule for this afternoon, Mr. Mooney. There is something behind your back. I can see it quite distinctly.
Oh, this thing is...
It's a scarecrow, Mr. Stanley.
A scarecrow? A scarecrow in Upjohn and Stanley's?
I'm afraid so, Mr. Stanley.
What a wonderful idea.
What did you say, sir?
Brilliant, Mr. Mooney. I never knew you had it in you. You went out and acquired a real scarecrow for the outdoors display in the gardening department.
Did I, Mr. Stanley? Yes, indeed, I did.
Wonderful scarecrow. Truly wonderful. And just look here. It actually has a real bird's nest in it.
Oh, has it? Well, yes. Well, I specifically wanted a bird's nest.
Was it hard to find, Mr. Mooney?
Well, it wasn't easy. But then for Upjohn and Stanley, nothing is too much trouble.
I don't think the hat is quite right, Mr. Mooney, and that scarf doesn't quite suit either. But these gloves and fingers are a joy to behold. And that face, the face is perfect. In fact, I think it is the ugliest thing I have ever seen in my life. Take it round at once to the gardening department, Mr. Mooney. That scarecrow shall be the centerpiece of the entire Upjohn and Stanley outdoors display. God, it's ugly.
How are we going to get him out of all that lot?
We can't. He's very quiet. Do you think he's still sulking?
I suppose so.
You can't tell the difference between a scarecrow's is sulking and a scarecrow's is doing a fair old job in the retail trade, then you don't know much about scarecrows, that's all I can say. Ignorant kids don't know what they teaches you these days.
If you're going to be rude, Worzel, don't expect us to help you.
When I want your help, young woman, I'll ask for it. Anyway, it's not likely to be yours. Anyway, I'm not here to talk to customers. That's too important for that. I's a showpiece, that's what I is. I heard the gentleman say so you can shove off.
Come on, John, if he's too grand to speak to us, we can go somewhere else.
That's it, go on, buzz off. Showpiece, that's what I am. This other so grand has been the centipede of an outdoor display indoors.
We do need a new watering can for the kitchen garden, Betty. And I could do with a new fork. Have you had a look at some of these prices?
Well, if you couldn't knock me over with a feather. And now tell me I need a new pair of glasses.
You do, you need a new pair of glasses.
Well, that I do for reading. But my eyesight's good enough to know a scarecrow when I see one. And tell me, now, is that or is that not our scarecrow from 10 Acre Field?
No. Well, perhaps it does bear a passing resemblance to ours, I'll admit that, Betty, but it can't be, can it?
Why can't it?
Well, because you know and I know that our 10 Acre Field scarecrow is scaring crows in 10 Acre Field.
I tell you, that's it, Jack.
No, ours hasn't got goggles, nor a cap like that neither. Just a minute. Blind brood! That's my cap. That's my best tweedy cap as I lost this morning.
And that's my scarf, too. And that is our scarecrow, Jack. I tell you, we should see someone and complain.
Complain, madam? Complain is a word we don't expect to hear at Upjohn and Stanley's.
Well, you've heard it now. And if we don't get satisfaction from you, I shall go right to the top. See Mr. Upjohn and tell him, too.
I may not be the illustrious Mr. Upjohn, but I do have the honor of being the other partner. My name is Stanley. What seems to be the trouble?
We want that scarecrow.
Ah, now there I have to disappoint you. The scarecrow is only for display.
Oh, we don't want to buy it. We mean to take it. It's our scarecrow. It was stolen out of our field.
Look inside this cap if you don't believe me. Go on, read it. Tell me what's written inside there.
J.M. Braithwaite.
Right. Jack Musgrove Braithwaite. That's me.
And if you care to examine that scarf, it's got a name tag. B. Braithwaite. That's me. I'm his wife.
And if you're requiring any more proof as to who he belongs to, then I'll bring along my farm labourer and a whole village lot of folk, all of whom will tell you that he belongs to me.
Oh, come now, Mr. Braithwaite. I don't think we need go to those lengths. It's obvious there's been some mistake. Somebody, probably one of our van men, picked up the wrong scarecrow. If you'll just come along to the office I share with Mr. Upjohn, I'm sure all this can be sorted out quite amicably. We might even manage a cup of tea.
Oh, we might meet Mr. Upjohn then, personally.
Possibly. At any rate, I'm sure we're not going to fall out over a common or garden scarecrow. It really is a disgusting-looking object. In fact, on second thoughts, I'm not sure that it is right for our class of business. It'll have to go. My God, it is ugly. Would you care to step this way?
Ugly, am I? Disgusting, eh? All right, Mr. Folderol, or whatever your name is. I ain't stopping here to be insulted. Ugh. 10-8, or where I belong.
Really, Miss Simmons, don't you think you can clear up in here a little bit? Look at all this, 6s and 7s, particularly the 8 and the halves and the 9s. Oh, bless my soul, another tramp. Perhaps it's a disguise. Perhaps it's a gang of international menswear thieves.
Look over there.
Where?
There's the first one, Mr. Mooney. The one got up as a scarecrow.
Oh, my neck, it's locked.
Perhaps I can be of some assistance, sir.
Oh, no, I don't want you. You can go away. Oh, please, call the first aid.
Calm yourself, Mr. Mooney, my dear sir.
Oh, he knows my name.
There's nothing wrong with your neck that a few drops of this won't cure.
Oh, it works. It actually works.
It always works.
Might one inquire, my good man, whether the recipe for that formula is for sale?
Unfortunately not, Mr. Stanley.
He knows his name.
You see, regrettably, I'm sworn to secrecy. It's an old country herbal liniment that was handed on to me by a Westmoreland washerwoman who had it handed on to her by a Scottish gamekeeper who had it handed on to him by a person of royal blood. In fact, it was no less a person.
No.
You still haven't told me, Mrs. Braithwaite, what Mr. Upjohn said about the scarecrow being there.
Only that he was as puzzled as we were as to how it got there, and he'd send it back as soon as possible.
He can't send it back too soon for me. I need that scarecrow in 10 Acre.
I told you it was going to be one of those days. Oh, I really could do with a cup of tea.
Yeah, so could I. I'll take the shortcut home.
He's fallen to bits again.